Hello and welcome along to another video. Thanks for joining me here in the Scottish Highlands on a bit of a miserable day. And I want to start this video off by just being completely honest. I have struggled this morning. I really didn't want to get out of bed. I had to muster all that I had just to get me up this morning. And for full transparency, I actually got up and then I went back to bed, and I opened Instagram and I had a wee flick through, and one of the first things that popped up was actually a post from Kylian Jornet. And I'm assuming that if you're watching my videos, you probably know who Kylian Jornet is. And the caption of the video, it struck me, and it just motivated me. And it said, "The real test lies within." And that was it. There was like a little bit of a spark, a little bit of a fire. That just gave me the impetus to really motivate myself to actually get up and get out this morning, even though it is absolutely pouring with rain. And I know there's going to be no views, and I know I'm probably going to be walking in clouds, but that just gave me something to get up and get out. So yeah, I'm going to try and unpack that a little bit for myself today, and hopefully I can share a few thoughts and insights to finding motivation when motivation is hard to find. But yeah, thanks very much for joining me again, and I hope you find this video useful and an enjoyable watch. So the start of today's walk is actually really pleasant. I mean, apart from the water underfoot and the water in the air, it's actually a really lovely walk. And you start going up through a really nice forest, and actually I'm a little bit out of breath, but I'm on this really good forestry track now. So that's allowing me to catch my breath a little bit, and it's going to allow me to give you my first thought of the day. But yeah, what do you do when you find yourself lacking motivation, and you wake up in the morning and you just think to yourself, do you know what, today's not the day? I think it's really important to acknowledge these feelings and to accept these feelings. You know, I think it's just such an empowering act to say, do you know what, I hear it, and I'm listening to my body and I'm listening to my mind. Yeah, I think there's a lot of strength and a lot of power in the acknowledgement of your own feelings. But there's also a lot of strength in knowing that sometimes these feelings don't last. Sometimes that you feel it in the moment, just because you feel it in the moment doesn't mean you're going to feel it in an hour's time, in 2 hours time, or come lunchtime. And I think there's a lot of power in that understanding. So yeah, I think, thought number one is acknowledge that you feel rubbish. It's okay. It's perfectly okay to feel rubbish in the moment, but it's about having a belief and a faith that that feeling is not going to last forever, which, I think is what's happened to me today. I felt rubbish at the beginning of the day, and now that I'm here, I don't feel as rubbish. So yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. So on this particular mountain, you do gain height quite quickly, and it won't be too long until I'm on the summit ridge. But I've been thinking about other ways to combat the lack of motivation, and I think what I tend to do is I try and be prepared. Like, I try and be prepared for the day ahead, which starts usually the day before. So I'll prep all of my gear, I'll prep my bag, my food, my water, I'll literally put everything into the bag, and then I'll leave it at the front door. And that goes for like my little drop bag as well, which just lives in the car, which has, like, you know, a can of fizzy juice for after the walk and a change of clothes, which is going to be very necessary today because I am sodden. But luckily the rain has stopped for just a moment, so it's given me enough time to do this little piece to camera. But yeah, I think there's a lot in being prepared and having the mindset of not letting yourself fail. You know, it's very easy to, like, take today as an example. You know, I woke up this morning, and if I hadn't have had all of my gear prepared, it could have been absolutely mind destroying. It could have completely and utterly derailed my attempt to leave the house, because I would have had to get all the kit out, and having already felt rubbish, you know, that could have spiraled into, you know, a pretty bad mindset, and then I might have not actually left the house, and I might have not have seen this amazing place. So yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for being prepared and putting that into practice. So getting your kit ready, having food, having water, having a change of clothes, knowing where you're going, and also knowing where you might go if that place doesn't work out. That also comes into being prepared. Like, I don't think there's any problem with having a backup plan. For example, this is not a Munro today. The forecast is definitely not favourable to do a Munro, so I knew that. I know I had small hopes that it might have been, but waking up this morning and looking at the forecast, I knew that a Munro was not an option. It was going to be too windy, too rainy, so I went for a slightly smaller hill. So there you go, be prepared. I'm just approaching the summit, and I thought I'll just take a little bit of shelter here just to give my third thought of the day. And it's about expectation management and how we think about problems, or how we think about solutions to those problems as well. And I think it's so easy to be fooled by your mind. But I think we also have the power to trick our mind in the same way that it does to us. And I mean that, you know, we can change a bad situation into a positive opportunity just with the power of thought and with a change of mindset. And that's been a bit of a revelation to me, because for a long time I've not really been on top of my own mind, and, you know, sometimes my own thoughts. And that's you know, that's tricky when it comes to the hills, because sometimes, you know, you're not in a good place, you feel a bit rubbish, but you know that the hills offer you the opportunity to feel and think in a different way. And I think that's the power of positive thinking. And it's all about managing those expectations. If you think you're going to have a crap day, you're going to have a crap day. But if you think, I'm going to have a great day, and I'm going to have a great day regardless of the conditions, regardless of how I'm feeling in that moment, and regardless of anything else that gets thrown at me, then I think that's a really, really powerful thing to be able to do. And I try to practice that. Like, I don't think it's instinctual in people. Like, I think you really do need to practice that, and it's a skill, it's a muscle, and you need to use it, and you need to continually use it in order to develop it. So yeah, that's a slightly deeper thought, but yeah, I do I do really think that there's a thing in managing your own expectations and setting your own mindset. But yeah, we're almost at the top of this little Corbett. So yeah, let's go up and see what it's all about. Welcome to the summit of Beinn Each. Whoo-wee! What a day! As you can see, we've not been lucky with the cloud, unfortunately. It's just a little bit clagged in, but positive mindset. What a place! Like, it's so atmospheric, it's really beautiful. You know, it's got this mystical sort of tone and mood about it. Yeah. See, it's all just about how you think about things. Like, you could say, oh, this is miserable, it's a bit wet, can't see nothing. But actually, you know, the process to get here has been so enjoyable. The process of putting one foot in front of the other, you know, that's the most important thing about these types of experiences. It's not, you know, getting here, like, here's the byproduct of having a great day out. And yeah, it doesn't matter. I think it wouldn't have mattered today if I'd have made the summit or if I hadn't have made the summit. Like, it's not about that. It's about enjoying where I am, enjoying being on my own today, which, you know, I've not been on my own in a wee while. So that's been very nice as well. And actually, that probably lends itself to another point. Like, it's always good to have friends, and it's always good to have people that you can regularly go walks with. And I'm reasonably lucky that I have, you know, a number of people that enjoy the same things as me and that want to join me on these adventures. So I am pretty lucky with that. But yeah, it's just opening up slightly, but not enough to really see, because you know, from what I'm told and what I see, the views from here are supposed to be pretty good. You know, you should be able to see Beinn Each, which I did in the winter. I wouldn't mind doing that one again in the summer. And there should be the Crane Larach Hills, should be behind the camera, there should be Stuka Crown and Beinn Each, but there's no way that I'm going to get those views today. And that's okay, doesn't matter. I've had a great time, I'm still having a great time. The final thing I would like to say today is thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate every single person that tunes into the channel and leaves us a comment. And if you have enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, then please do let me know. It would really mean a lot to me. And hey, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you know where the subscribe button is, please do so. It does go a long way in helping me, and it doesn't cost you anything as well. But yeah, final cheerio from the summit of Beinn Each, and a final thank you, and I'll see you on another adventure soon.